Between Egypt and Sudan lies a desert claimed by neither. Bir Tawil, one of the world's strangest territorial anomalies. Bir Tawil covers about 2,060 square kilometres, a sizable pocket between two established nations, yet formally claimed by neither. No flag, checkpoint or government marks this place, only rock, sand, heat and an invisible political contradiction. Why refuse territory between them? Because claiming Bir Tawil could cost either country a far greater prize. That prize is Hala'ib, a much larger coastal triangle claimed by both Egypt and Sudan. Egypt lies north, Sudan south, and the Red Sea east. Bir Tawil sits deep within their remote desert frontier. The land is dry, rocky and mountainous, with no major city, coastline or permanent centre of government. Its shape follows no river or ridge. It exists because two boundaries drawn 3 years apart do not match. At 2,060 square kilometres, Bir Tawil is substantial, but remoteness, scarce infrastructure and no sea access limit its value. The story begins under British influence, when colonial officials wanted a boundary that was simple to describe and administer. In 1899, they drew a straight political border along the 22nd parallel north. Under that line, Bir Tawil fell on Sudan's side, while the Hala'ib Triangle fell on Egypt's side. The map looked clear. But the agreement's clean geometry ignored trade routes, grazing patterns, communities and connections that crossed the line on the ground. A straight border looked precise on paper, yet it failed to reflect how people actually moved across the desert. In 1902, administrators created a second boundary, bending the line around local access and traditional patterns of movement. Bir Tawil was linked administratively to Egypt, while Hala'ib was managed from Sudan, reflecting different local connections. The result reversed the map. Bir Tawil moved to Egypt's side, while Hala'ib moved to Sudan's. Now two borders gave opposite answers. The 1899 border favours Egypt at Hala'ib. The 1902 border favours Sudan there, and each places Bir Tawil with the other country. Each government chooses one historical line. Neither can simply combine the most favourable pieces of both maps. Egypt supports the 1899 border. That keeps Hala'ib Egyptian, but places Bir Tawil on Sudan's side. Sudan supports the 1902 boundary. That keeps its Hala'ib claim alive, but places Bir Tawil on Egypt's side. Hala'ib is larger, inhabited, and reaches the Red Sea, giving it far greater strategic and economic importance. For both governments, the choice is unequal. A valuable coastal triangle outweighs a smaller, isolated desert. Claim Bir Tawil and you weaken your case for Hala'ib. Claim Hala'ib and Bir Tawil must remain with the other side. So Bir Tawil remains unclaimed, not forgotten, but deliberately left outside two competing and more valuable border arguments. That ambiguity attracted adventurers who planted flags, invented micronations, and declared themselves rulers of this remote desert. In 2014, Jeremiah Heaton announced a kingdom here. Later, Suyash Dixit made another private claim. The crowns, flags and titles made irresistible headlines, but ceremony is not the same as legal sovereignty. No government or international organisation recognised these kingdoms. Planting a flag did not create a lawful country. A private declaration cannot establish sovereignty. Recognition, effective authority, neighbouring states and international law all matter. There is another problem with calling Bir Tawil empty. A blank political map can conceal generations of human movement. Ababdar communities have historically crossed and used this wider region, including for grazing, travel and access to water. Unclaimed by a recognized state does not mean unused, unknown or disconnected from human history. Overlay the two borders and the paradox becomes clear. Political decisions created a prize at Hala'ib and an unwanted remainder at Bir Tawil. Bir Tawil exists because borders are arguments about history, law, access, identity and power, not merely lines. From above, it appears to be a small desert shape. Look closer and it reveals how negotiation and contradiction create seemingly permanent maps. Next, we travel to Baal, where Belgian and Dutch enclaves divide streets, shops, homes, and even individual buildings. If maps seem fixed, look closer. Subscribe to the Restless Atlas, where borders shift and mysteries remain. Next time, the divided town of Baal.